You know what I do? In most cases, I do a photographic thing. I take a picture of what the lick looks like, because guitar is one of the only instruments that you can do it with. Guitar, stringed instruments like a violin. Just can't do it with a saxophone. Scales all look different. Piano looks all different with the black keys. You can't. I know this, it's gonna sound like that wherever I do it until you get to the B string where it changes. But I logically and systematically go to, okay, I know what this looks like. So I move a lot of stuff around, because you can go. So, I mean, it's a bar chord thing, right? So you take every phrase and move it around. But what I did, what a lot of people don't do, is when you take the pentatonic and they go, I'm more like, it's kind of like I take the same notes and I just spread it out as far as I can. And that's the kind of thing where if I'm in E, if I'm in G, A, so I take the photographic look of that and I move it around, and then, like I said, sometimes you have to alter it a little bit, but I know where I have to alter it, I know what I'm looking for, that kind of thing. I look at licks like this. This is a really cool lick, right? And basically all I'm doing is I'm taking a phrase, and I like that phrase because it gives me the minor third and the major third. So, and then what happens, hey, if I just take that lick, the way it looks, not how it sounds, and just move it down one. And what if I take that lick and move it down the neck 3 frets? So, I got, which is a cool lick. Now the thing is, if you want to keep going, that sounds like shit. That sounds like shit. But this sounds good. So you have to alter it. So it's that kind of thing. So that's how my brain works. If it doesn't sound like, people are like, hey, what are you doing when you do this and that, and they go, do you economy pick, do you minimal movement technique, what do you do? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. I like how I play, but I know what, if it sounds good, I'll play it, and if I don't like how it sounds, then I won't play it. But I don't dissect it or try to figure out what the hell it is. And people are like, man, you should do economy picking. I'm like, I don't think Jimmy Page, Angus Young, Eddie Van Halen, and Tony Iommi economy pick. Or if they do, they don't know that they do, right? So, I think about my favorite players, and I don't think anybody thinks about minimal movement. I'm all over the place because I'm hyper. And it's an extension of me.
All right, guys, before we get into the lesson, I just want to point out the elephant in the room. Yes, I know some of you guys are looking at this guitar going, what the heck is that? Well, I hope a lot of you, though, are looking at it doing what I did when I first saw it and go, oh my God, what is that? That is awesome. Well, real quick, I was lucky enough to play someone's guitar that was this guitar, not this guitar, but this model and exact same look almost. And when I played it, I was just like, man, that is the coolest thing in the world. I would love to have one of those. Well, Gibson is they only made 400 of these. So that's pretty amazing. And I was fortunate enough to be able to get one of these. So I just love it. I think it's amazing. It's made out of Stratabond, I think it's called. It's it's crazy. We're going to go into a review on this. I love the way it sounds. I love the way it feels and the way it plays. It's not a complete, of course, traditional Les Paul, but it's unique, and it really does an amazing job. So I just wanted to point that out, so the whole lesson I wasn't getting a whole bunch of questions. What the heck is that? But feel free to give those questions if you want. But I'm going to do a review on this and a whole nother thing on this eventually. But I love this guitar. I think it's awesome. It's one of my favorite, and I'm just so proud that I have it. So thank you for enjoying it with me. All right, so after Phil describing all that, I have nothing else I need to say. So thanks for watching. I'm just kidding. So let's break this down, though, note for note, and I'll show you some of the how you can see some of the box positions. Again, I work out of pentatonic a lot, so you could see where the positions are. So this, as Phil mentioned, it's in the key of E. You can change it up so it's in a whole bunch of different keys, and I'd suggest doing that, and we'll get into that later. But right now, it starts out on the D string, on the 2nd fret, then to the 5th fret. So, and it's a hammer on here, so he may pick it. Again, I'd have to go back and really see exactly what he's doing with his picking. I do know that he doesn't use hybrid picking in this, so he's picking, and he does a downstroke on the first one. So I think he hammers on. He goes first one downstroke, hammer on, then he does an upstroke, and there's a hammer on, and then he does another upstroke. At least that's what I think I saw in there. So it's a downstroke and then an upstroke on the next 2 strings with hammer-ons wherever they're applicable. So what I do, though, for me, it's a little more comfortable. And again, this is where you learn something and then, you know, make it your own kind of thing. So I end up using my middle and ring finger. Or maybe I just use my middle finger. My pick and the middle finger. And so again, the notes are 2nd fret, 5th fret on the D string. Then the 2nd fret and 3rd fret on the G string. So, and then the open B string. So, and then all those 3 strings ring out. So you have the 5th fret on the D string, the 3rd fret on the G string, and then the B string open. So, all right. Now, the way I played it, too, when I first learned this was instead of playing the hammering on, what I did is I end up sliding, I think. Because that left my finger on that fret for the next move. So now, it doesn't matter. Again, it's whatever you feel comfortable with. So now the second part of the phrase is you're going to slide that pinky from the 5th fret on the D string to the 6th fret on the D string. And then you're going to play the 3rd fret to 4th fret on the G string. And then you're going to play your 1st finger on the 3rd fret of the B string. So that whole thing is. Now the next part slides down to the 2nd fret of the G string, and then you hammer on to the 3rd fret of the G string. So it's. And now you hammer on from the open string of the B string to the 3rd fret of the B string. So. And you do that. He's doing it with the 2nd finger on the 2nd fret, hammer on the 3rd fret with the 3rd finger on the G string. Then you're going to pull that 2nd finger, and that's what you're going to use the hammer on the B string, 3rd fret. And again, all these strings ring together. So the first one is, right? Second one is, and you have, and the third one is, and that whole thing together is. Then he goes to that little thing. So after that, it goes to slides up to this, which is the 4th fret of the G string to the 3rd fret of the B string. So that's your 3rd finger on the G string, 4th fret, and your 2nd finger on the B string, 3rd fret. So that's... Then he does this kind of lazy slide, which is really cool. It's not just really fast. It kind of, you hear it going through those frets. So it goes from the 4th fret on the G string, slides up to the 6th fret, but you kind of hear that 5th fret in between. Right? Then he hammers on with the 1st finger on the 3rd fret of the B string to the 5th fret of the B string with your 2nd finger. So, and then he's still barring that 3rd fret so he could grab that 3rd fret of the E string. So that whole thing is... And then he has this ringing out. So far, mostly it's been 3 notes ringing out together, right? You have this. Then you have this. And you have this. With these fingers. Right? Then this one is only 2 notes. So that kind of breaks up this feeling of the same pattern over and over. And Phil talked about that too, or he will talk about that. I'm not sure where it is in this edit, but he talks about how he likes taking patterns and instead of just doing it real rhythmically the same the whole time, breaking it up, whether it's rhythmically with 2 notes instead of 3 or whatever it is. It's a really cool technique.